half a cup, way too much milk, and a bit of sugar to cover the bitter taste. Or even better, just a big caramel macchiato from Starbucks that barely even resembles the stuff anymore. I've never been much of a coffee guy. I love me the smell of a fresh can in the morning, I always did, but when my parents let me taste it for the first time when I was about 10 years old, I thought it was vile, and my face felt like it had curled in on itself like a hedgehog trying to defend itself from a big, brown, but admittedly very pleasant-smelling dog. My parents laughed at me and said something along the lines of, "Someday you'll like it, and your taste changes when you get older, give it a few more years." I kept loving the smell. It very much spelled home for me, and simultaneously I kept being disgusted by even just the look of this wicked liquid, and preferred sticking to my soft drinks, like Coca-Cola. And yes, I am well aware of the irony. And so I kept denying every single time my parents held the coffee pot over my cup, accompanied by the ever same question, "Still not drinking coffee?" They never seemed to get tired of it, and every single time I promised, "I never will." I was sure and determined at that point to keep that promise, and for the better part of my life, I did, until recently. Irritable bowel syndrome, my doctor calls it. I'm not so sure about that, but no one can really tell me what's going on in there without cutting me open again. All I know is that my little tum-tum aches and I get bloated like a goddamn balloon sometimes. My girlfriend suggested I try coffee, as it helps with digestion. I didn't want to at first, but since I was rather desperate and every other medicine tasted just as bitter, I let down my guard only once, and just like that, this vile poopy water crept into my life. I hate to admit it, but it does help. 1 cup in the morning and I'll be good to go. To the toilet, that is. And then I'll be almost carefree for the rest of the day most days. It also satisfies my desperate thirst for caffeine, sparked by drinking Coke literally all day as a kid, which turned me into a chubby teen with dental cavities and probably cut my life short by a bunch of years. And it certainly didn't help that, after banning it from my life, I needed a substitute, and thus quenched this thirst with energy drinks every bloody day for years. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that sort of lifestyle turned out to be the sole reason for my appendix having become inflamed and the subsequent need to remove it, which was where all the problems started. Looking back at it all, coffee would have probably solved all of these problems. Who would have guessed? I still don't like it. Thanks for listening to my little story. It's autobiographical, of course, and all these health issues have also been the reason I haven't uploaded in a while, amongst other things like moving twice, which simply didn't allow for a lot of work to get done. I'm still a bit short on time at the moment and probably won't be able to upload more than once or twice a month. So if you like the sound of my voice, make sure you don't miss any videos by subscribing and hitting the bell. It would also very much help my tiny channel grow if you could share this video or at least click the like button if you enjoyed it. The good thing about taking such a long break is that I had some time to work on my role-playing game, Oniki, which is basically finished and playable. So if you want to support my work, or if you always wanted to play games like Dungeons & Dragons but could never afford it, you can buy Oniki for only a few bucks on my Patreon right now. Links in the description. As of now, it runs on Google Sheets and I'm working on making an app for Windows and Android, which all my patrons will get for free once it's done, which realistically will probably be in a year or two. My patrons will also get access to any other game I'm making and will also get a shout out at the end of every video. And speaking of, thank you to my very first patron, De Niro Face, and thank you to the rest of you for watching this video. See you soon, have a wonderful time, Matt Mora out.